This is me. You're probably wondering how I got into this situation. Hello everyone, my name's Mitsuno, but considering that I have not done any self-promotion in the past several months, if you're watching the stream, you probably knew that already. Tyrell's back, that's nice.
あの時潰しときゃよかったんだ。それをお前が手心を加えるから。
Is the game always this quiet, criminy? Hear this.
So that
is in fact just the game having really quiet music in this section for some reason. Sure, great, it's been a while since the last time you gave me an excuse to complain about that. Now I have something to contribute. Hooray!
本当に育ちがいいやつは脅迫なんかしねえんだよ。
You would be very surprised.
Anastasia, こっちもくれ。
Oh boy, candy. Okay. Thanks.
酒場でミルクってどういう料件だ。酒を飲め、酒を。
We aren't all like you, Tyrell. Some of us have actual hobbies.
聞かなくていいぞ、アナスタシア。飲酒を強いてくる男ほど嫌なものはないよな。異端審問官の時は大丈夫だったか？
I mean, that actually surprisingly did not come up during our time as Inquisitor. Yeah, that was when we were on his routes where he was required to have at least some likable traits. That has changed now.
何考えてるかわかんねえ上司のいる職場よかマシだっただろうな。
アナスタシア、現実を教えてやれ。遠慮しなくていいぞ。
Ah, every male character in this game hates each other. Well,
低レベルな争いにこいつを巻き込むんじゃねえ。と酒入るとどうしようもねえな。
yes, when they get alcohol in their systems. Right. That awkwardness continues until we enter the tavern. Once we're at the table, it all fades away, thank God. You know, any other romance game would have had this little bit go on for like 15 minutes. Doesn't look like they're at all concerned about what happened yesterday.
で、棺桶はいくつ用意すりゃいい？
At least 7. You can buy them on the internet. How convenient. The conversation suddenly swerves into more foreboding territory. I wasn't sure if we could discuss this in so busy an establishment, but our voices fade into the din. You know, it's like in Pulp Fiction. Nothing bad happened to all those criminals discussing their crimes in public spaces in Pulp Fiction, right?
なるべく平和的に解決したいんだが、難しいかな。
Yes, always.
お前がそう望むなら葬儀中に花火を上げるのはやめておいてやる。
It does mean you have more fireworks to spend on other places, though, so really, who has lost?
ふざけたことすんじゃねえぞ。自分たちだけで動いてる時とは違えんだ。
狙いは？
You know, I'd like to know that too. Master Tyrell stares straight into my eyes. The sharp gaze brings me back to my time as an Inquisitor.
お前にとっての合格ラインは？何がどうなったら満足する？
I want to ensure that they never send assassins after him again. That would be nice, actually.
他は
I want them to cancel their plans to demolish the church. I heard of the necessity for reinforcements during my fatal rewind, so I want them to take proper care of it. I want them to eliminate the source of the Cardinal's nefarious actions and preserve the church. That is my current goal. That is my quest. Now we need to find out what her favorite color is.
そうか
It's probably
俺
red.
の要望は聞いてくれないのか？
Everything about her is red.
どうぞ
God, you're so sassy all the time. Why you gotta be so sassy, my good sir?
アナスタシアに危険が及ばないこと。
Gasp. You mean the man who's been my love interest for a game and a half cares about me? Ah, doki doki doki.
んなこと言われなくても分かってる昨日大筋を聞いた後建設業界を探ってみた確かに評判のいい職人はジジイの隠居先を建設中だ
What, could you speak up? I can't hear you.
軒並み持ってかれてんだと
What is with the sound mixing in this game? So Cardinal Monaghan was telling us the truth.
教会の上層部は人間の形を模しただけのゴミくず集団だがその中でもモナハンは処理しやすい可燃物奴を交渉相手に選んだのは正解だった
Unless you just gotta pull out the burnable garbage. Well, I mean, you should not do that. That is actually very bad for the atmosphere, which you need to breathe. If that's a science fact for you.
自分なら何とかできると言ったのも本当か？
そう見て間違いないだろう
今から話すのは小教会についてか。資格の方を先に何とかした方がいいと思うが。テンプル家以外にもつてはあるだろう。
I mean, do we have any reason to believe House Temple would be acting on this? Actually, who are House Temple? You have not done anything to establish that. I am about as adrift as I was when this storyline began.
あんな閉鎖的な組織がそういくつもパイプを持っているわけがね
Yes, imagine the church having connections. Unfathomable.
モナハンが言ってることは全て事実だ俺たちが今から職人を確保するのは不可能可能にしてくれるのは奴しかいない今からでも頭を下げて頼み込むのが正解お望みの平和的な解決だ
Somehow I get the sensation you're not particularly enthused by the idea, Mr. Lister.
資格を送ってくるような奴らだぞ。裏があるに決まってる。
Yeah, is nobody going to talk about the fact that they have tried to kill us and we have not really put any effort into finding out why? That feels like an important part of this story.
それもその通りだ。しかし、小教会の一件をきっかけに和解する道もある。
Ridiculous. The church has never been an instrument of peace a single time in human history.
そう簡単にいくか。
何事も歩み寄りから始めないかな。
That is also a load of horseshit. Every good negotiation starts with one side pointing a gun at the other. Everyone knows that. If you're both in agreement with this, then I'll go along with it.
少し早いがお開きにしようか。アナスタシア、昨日のこともあるし、心配だから今夜は俺の家に泊まる。
Why does your mouth do that? If you've got a sore or something, you should probably get that looked at.
護身用のナイフ貸しといてやる。
おい。
Sassy, sassy man.
俺も
we're
お
home.
前の着替え用意したよ。女性ものはたくさん
Audience
種類があって
bursting into applause.
選ぶのが楽しいな。アナスタシア。
Yes?
そのはいは OK ってこと？俺の頼み聞いてくれるんだな。
That gag doesn't even make sense. Crap, I wasn't listening to him at all. But if it's a request from him, then... Fuck you, I'm not falling for this. I'm sorry, but I was spacing out and I didn't hear you.
着替えを準備したと言ったんだ。好きなのを選んでくれ。
He's laid out a number of colorful sets of sleepwear for me. Wait, these are all mine?
なあ、どれも可愛いだろ。
I don't know, I can't actually see them. My head doesn't turn down. I've been meaning to discuss your spending habits for a while now. Your addiction to big-ticket purchases with no practical use is tearing this family apart. Why do you always spend so wastefully when it comes to my clothing? You're free to purchase whatever you wish, but I don't need this much sleepwear. I'm happy at the sentiment, but I only have one body.
俺今、お前に怒られてるな。
Yes, definitely. Why do you look so happy about that, you masochist? Actually, maybe I do know. Game, why are you stealing my jokes? The foremost of masochists. Pain and shame only serve to incite his sexual pleasures.
なんだそのティレルが言いそうなセリフは。
Stop reading my mind. It is, in fact, something Master Tyrell said before.
まさか、俺のことを。
It was. I wrote it off before since I thought he was joking, but now...
そんなわけないだろう。
My god, he's human.
俺はお前が恋人として言ってくれているんだと思ったから喜んでいただけだ。そんな歪んだ性癖はない。
Are you sure? I apologize.
まったくあいつは、ろくなことを言わないな。
That wasn't from the current Master Tyrell, so please don't get angry at him.
別に俺は痛めつけられたいとも苦しみたいとも思ってはいないが、お前相手なら別だよ。
You know, that butt's carrying a whole lot of weight. I would never do anything to hurt you.
俺のためを思って言ってくれているのはわかるよ。けど、そうやって自分の行動を狭めるようなことを言って、後から辛くならないか？
Yes, actually, I would like to punch you in the face multiple times. Is that permission? Gasp.
ただでさえ、この世はルールに縛られているんだ。この人は何があっても許してくれる。そう思える人が一人でもいてくれた方が楽になれるんじゃないか？
It is.
説教臭くなったな。要はもう少し肩の力を抜いていこうってことだ。お互いにな。
Unfortunately, I lost the part of my body that allows me to relax in the war. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. I'd like to go apologize to Cardinal Monaghan earlier tomorrow, if possible. The earlier the better. What do we have to apologize for again? Isn't he the criminal accomplice to pedophiles, if not a pedophile himself?
まあ、そのことなんだが。
Zen! Insert massive applause here. What is this? A crossover
こ
episode?
いつらはマジで信用ならねえ。
Okay. Zen suddenly storms into the room. Master Tyrael follows behind him, but he remains exceedingly calm.
酒場でどっちがいい上司か言い合ってたか。どっちもどっちだ。アナスタシア、お前はこいつらみてえになるなよ。
Okay, I'm confused. Is this a serious bidder, isn't it? I have no idea what you're talking about. Explain, please.
さっきモナハンに頭下げに行けって話になったよな。
Right, we were actually just about to discuss when the best day for that would be.
全部こいつらの嘘だったんだよ。
No. They lied? The villains who tried to kill us? Unthinkable.
全部というわけじゃない。
That was you.
騙したのは本当だ。
Dick.
悪かった。
Oh, we had a good moment there. So, when did you start lying? You mean like about this, or...?
教会にテンプル系以外のパイプはねえって言ったところからだ。
That was a lie?
実は俺たちが悪巧みをするときは決まってあの酒場で話をするんだ。翼騎士団や異端審問会、表立って動けないことをいろいろな。
You suck. All the men in this game are terrible. Give me back Lucius. Lucian, whatever the fuck his name is.
そうすることでわざと敵に情報を流している。真実7、偽り3くらいの割合でな。
So am I part of your enemies now? Is that it? But that means there was an enemy at the tavern that night, right?
お前と俺らが一緒じゃあっちも警戒せずにはいられねえよな。
お前たちは事情を知らずにいてくれた方が自然な反応をしてくれると思うな。敵を騙すならまず味方から。昔からある言葉だ。
Yeah, it gets brought up every time a detective feels like lying to their Watson. For the sake of enabling a plot twist later. And practically speaking, no other reason, I'm not bitter.
つうことはこれが初めてじゃねえんだ。よく考えりゃ今までも腑に落ちねえことがいくつかあったが、そ
In
の
this
せい
case, a Watson is a detective. Now all we need to do is pair him a detective who's a Watson and everything will be complete.
ちなみに今こうして手の内を明かしたのはもう騙さないからじゃねえ。
Assign a
明
judge
か
to
し
a
た上で
bailiff
も
and a
お
bailiff to
前
be a
くらい
judge, you
なら
know?
騙し続けられると踏んでるからだ。
この野郎。
Yeah, that's about right. Incredible. To be perfectly honest, I was worried about the outcome of this venture. I decided to follow your instructions if you both agreed to the same course of action. But to think you saw this far ahead. I still have far too much to learn. I highly respect and admire both of you as my superiors.
ほんとお前は100点の返しをするな。全見習え。
I feel like this picture right here is basically the entire game compressed into one image.
絶対嫌だ。
This one too. Actually, did Master Teal refer to Cardinal Monaghan as trash because he knew that information would reach his ears? His genius knows no bounds. You're the salt of the earth, Annie.
なんかこいつ目キラキラさせてんぞ。お前らマジで教育に悪いな。
俺まで含めないでくれ。うちに来るまで後をつけられなかっただろうな。
誰に言ってる？
Technically, that's not an answer to their question.
では ここからが作戦会議本番だ。
Okay, let's make an actual plan at some point. Yeah, that feels important.
俺たちに差し向けられた資格が未熟だった理由が分かったから、そこから話しておこうか。まあ、何ら意外性のない話なんだが。
Because they were all trained by correspondence course.
テンプル家は教会の要求を断りきれなかったが、俺たちを敵に回すわけにもいかない。万が一のことがないようにと、わざと素人同然の者たちをよこしたらしい。
How exactly does one wind up becoming an amateur assassin? And how is ensuring that you will not succeed in killing us and getting away with it a cautious choice? I feel like that's more risky than the alternative.
人質役にテンプル家のメイドを使ったのもあえてのことだったよ。俺たちが直接文句を言いに行っていれば説明する用意もあったらしいんだ。
Aha, getting caught was actually all part of our master plan. But we chose to speak with Prince Parker instead. We took the long way around, it seems.
まあそのおかげでルーシェン殿下と和解する流れになったんだ。無駄じゃなかったさ。
Wasn't it though? Or was it actually a good idea?
教会のつてはテンプル家だけってのは嘘だったんだよな。他にどの家が加担してるんだ？
まだなんとも。調べりゃわかるだろうが、時間はかかる。教会ってのは貴族より隙がねえから。
Even though they're inept and have no connections. Clearly.
何か手がかりがあれば別だが。
That's not a clue, Watson. That's jam. A clue. I mean, we only have any actual connections or knowledge or awareness of the existence of one of these options, so... Cardinal Monaghan. Curious that he didn't hesitate to try and take on the renovations of the church itself, himself. If the king has most masons in the kingdom doing his work, how did he intend to combat the labor shortage? It wouldn't be easy, not even for a cardinal.
お前は賢いな。偉い偉い。
Alright, don't patronize me. Thank you.
モナハン一人に絞るならなんとかなるだろう。
Ironically, despite being an actual detective by profession, Zen has the least detective-y temperament of any of the people on screen right now. That's why he's our favorite. A trap. You want me to go see him?
あ？そこも嘘だったんじゃねえのかよ。
こいつが行かなきゃ酒場の話が枢機卿たちに伝わった時に怪しまれるだろうが。小教会を工事するとなればモナハンは絶対に動く。当然何か要求してくるだろうが、あっちの狙いを知るチャンスでもある。
I'm sure deliberately falling for your opponent's traps is one of the 37 stratagems, even if I can't remember which.
酒場でああして話したのは何の裏も偽りもなく枢機卿に助力を請おうとしていると思わせるためだ。お前には苦労をかけるが。
I'll be fine. I have plot armor now. So now I was trapped in my own gloom. My sharp tone was due in large part due to my own sense of powerlessness. We needed to rely on influence, and my lack of it was frustrating. Things are different now. I have a role in this plan. That knowledge alone inspires optimism and gives me strength. That energy suddenly deflates, however, when I realize something else. Shit, I forgot to buy pizza when I was grocery shopping earlier. No. I know you may not want to hear this from me, but I'm not terribly good at acting. Would it not have been better to reveal your hand once everything was over? Please don't look at me with these pitying eyes. So why the fuck aren't you covering your stomach, you slut? That's really, really not... I think that's a violation of the dress code.
まあ、それも考えなくもなかったんだから。でも、一番の功労者になるであろうお前が最後まで騙されたままというのはかわいそうだろ
う。まあ、それで善はやってきたけどな。
おい。
俺たちはお前を信じてる。だからお前ももっと自信を持て。
My biggest anime hot take is that Gurren Lagann was a 5 out of 10 anime I watched once and have not thought about since. I will. That was easy.
モナハン数奇表に接触した後にでもルーシェン殿下に報告に行こうか。でないと仲間外れにされたと悲しむだろうし。
Yeah, I'm beginning to have my doubts that there is actually anything of himself in his eventual victory in the race for the crown.
今のところあの豚王子の方が役に立ってるもんな。
Can we take him to market and then have him go wee 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 all the way home?
そんなこと殿下が聞いたらお怒りになるぞ。
怒るというか泣くんじゃねえの、あの王子の場合は。
Pigs cry? I know they do a lot of other things that make them biologically aligned with humans. That's why we used them before we invented ballistics gel. It's Lucian was worried about you as well, Zen. You should go see him. Friggin' man slut. Why did you let us care about you, you jerk? I also have so much I wish to speak with him about, but I'm probably better off waiting until this is all taken care of. When our meeting concludes, they make up for their lack of drinking at the tavern by pouring themselves a few glasses. I excuse myself to rest. Muffled voices reach me through the doorway. I'm surrounded by their joyful tones and the sense of the people I love. Annie, please don't talk about people's sense. There isn't a single reason to worry, and please don't tempt the fates either. You know what sort of story you're in. I'm always like this. I always make sure there's nothing frightening or worrisome before deciding to sleep. I've gained a rather unfortunate habit. Which I suppose is better than having an unfortunate hobbit, but... Several hours later.
朝食できてるよ。
You drank until late into the evening, didn't you?
ああ、ちょっと前までティレルとゼンが寝てたよ。叩き起こして外に放り出したが。
You told me you weren't a morning person. I've not once seen you struggle to wake up.
お前に朝食を作ってやるの初めてだから。楽しみで起きるのが苦じゃなかったんだ。
His bashful expression is so adorable that a smile naturally graces my features. Neat. There aren't as many dishes as the dinner he made for me, which is the opposite of how it's supposed to go if you're eating healthy. But it's clear a lot of work went into it. Gentle flavors are an expression of his consideration for my health. Looks like the weather won't be very favorable today.
嵐が近くまで迫っているようだ。今はそれほどでもないが、明日は大雨だろうな。
Oh, but I hate that game. Indeed. I'm glad Maya has already left. I doubt she'll have to deal with this storm in Aratio.
マヤ殿が戻る前に決着をつけたいな。
Hopefully. Da 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 da. Bing. Before I visit Cardinal Monaghan, there's something I'd like to ask of you. Why is your neck so much more heavily shaded than the rest of your body? No, I keep bringing it up, but it weirds me out.
私の力を借りたい。そなたがそう言ってくるであろうことは予想していたよ。
Alright, here we go. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. Sometimes the man is a woman.
大方、クライオス・キャサロックが何とかしてくれると思ったのだろうが、若い男というのは口だけ。いざという時は何の役にも立たん。今回のことでよくわかっただろう。
Okay, Boomer. I swallow my displeasure and nod, and reply with a line that's been prepared for me. You're the only one I can rely on, Cardinal Monaghan. Please, help me, Cardinal Monaghan. You're my only hope. I'm gonna throw up.
しかし、昨日の今日でこうも変わるとは、妙な気もするな。
Of course, it's not that simple. Our plans will be negatively affected if he's even a little suspicious. I need to rectify this. It seems like an easy mark. I've heard that you are by far the most outstanding of the 7 cardinals. You are diligent and ever faithful in your work.
そうかそうか。正直昨日はどうかと思ったが、あれはキャサロックの影響を受けてのことだったんだな。本来のそなたは素直でいい子なのだろう。
Sure, you appreciate that quite a bit. I feel my chest puff out with pride at his repeated nods. That was the right response. You know, just in case you were worried, you holding the controller, deciding my actions at critical moments.
まあいい。この教会の修繕くらい、この私にかかれば何とでもなる。安心して任せていなさい。
That was easy. If you were always capable of this, I only wish you would have done so from the start.
何か言ったか？
I'm glad to have you here with me.
まあ、実質的に教会を動かしているのはこのリック・モナハンだからな。私がいるから組織は回っているのだよ。
I'm not surprised to hear that. I feel guilty asking this of you without offering something in return. Especially as there's very little I can do for you.
そんなことはない。そなたにしかできぬことがあるのだよ。
Got him. And what would that be? Whoops, did I grab onto that too quickly? Oh, we can't change the subject, this is the only reason we're here. Male Diaz, you're a fan of him, right? I am as well. There's a subtle beauty to his paintings. His exhibition the other day was also truly wonderful.
その通りだ。その若さであの良さがわかるとは。メイルの才能は老若男女問わず万国に通用するものだな。いやー、彼はこの国の宝そのものだ。
I agree. When is this conversation going to end? The Cardinal stares at me, studying me carefully to determine my worth. He just needs one more good push. But I can't think of what that might be. Maya and the others often tell me I'm adept at praising others, but that talent refuses to make itself known now. It's no time to mope. I have to do something. I mean, if we be honest, then, we're not gonna get anything, but we can't very well praise him, so I guess we'll just have to trust in the authors. I've heard about Grand Commander Kreis's elder sister.
やはり知っていたか。だろうと思っていたよ。だから疑わしいのだ。簡単に手のひらを返したそなたが。
I wish to know your thoughts. Why is the church so determined to tear down this church? Why do they despise the Grand Commander so strongly?
この教会のステンドグラス、美しいだろう。本教会でもここまでのものはない。しかし、市民の足は遠い。ここが血に染まったことをみんなまだ覚えているからだ。汚れた教会に救いを求める者などいるわけがない。さっさと立て直してしまうに限ると考えていたが、私も惜しい気持ちはある。そなたがそこまで言うなら考え直してやらなくもない。
Okay, on the one hand, you were being unreasonably reasonable about all this. On the other hand, you have very conspicuously avoided the actual question I asked you.
キャサロックを憎む理由は、奴が人でなしの偽善者だからだ。
I mean, I can't really argue against that. A hypocrite? All he's done is ask the church to build an orphanage and look after the wings.
それが大間違いなのだ。孤児院があると知った他国の者たちが我々に孤児を押し付けてきているのだ。このままでは教会は破綻する。
Don't you know that we have the only orphanage in the entire world?
キャサロックはさぞ気持ちがいいだろうな。自分の懐を痛めることなく善行を積んだ気になれるのだから。よく騎士団のこともそうだ。団の肩を持ったせいで国王から睨まれる始末。教会はこれまで何度も煮えを飲まされてきた。
Hey, but the king's an old piece of shit who may or may not have had an incestuous relationship with his own sister, so, you know. Why are we having this conversation about him?
それだけならまだいい。これらの要求があれの死を利用して行われたものというのが理解できんのだ。イザベラ・キャソロックは明るいシスターだった。キャソロックには彼女の死の真相を公表し、彼女を殺した者たちに鉄槌を下すだけの用意があったのに、そうはせず己の私欲のために教会と取引した。これを人でなしと言わず何という。
His interests again being building an orphanage. A completely literal orphanage. How could he, that monster? To think such a slight shift of perspective could lead to so drastic a change in how we view people. If I had spent more time with the Cardinal, I may have come to harbor the same emotions. I take in a deep breath and slowly exhale. I do my utmost to remain calm when I speak. His request for an orphanage was to avoid a repeat of his sister's tragedy. He believed she would not want anyone else to suffer. Preservation of the wings was also one of his sister's wishes, though I Let's go into the details.
姉の願いだと。翼騎士団と彼女に何の関係があるというのだ。
You know, the wings were her brother's, cousin's, sister's, uncle's, nephew's former roommate. The relationship in question is not her, but the Grand Commander. A Garuda wing was necessary to cure his illness, so he tried to help her fervent wish come true. If you wish to know the truth, then you should ask him yourself. The Grand Commander would not bluntly refuse someone that truly wished to forge a bridge between them. Given how cruel some of your comments have been, though, not even the Grand Commander may want to entertain your conversation. Dick.
一言多いぞ。まあ、そなたの言い分は分かった。ここまでで一番聞く価値のある話だった。キャサロックを誤解していた部分もあるのかもしれん。
Dang, for an obvious retcon, they are actually threading this needle surprisingly well. I approve. Good job, writer.
何かをなすためには何かを犠牲にするしかない。あれほどまでに恵まれた男でもそうだというのはなんとも
Wait, by this reality, do you mean the whole having his sister raped and murdered thing? Because it is not too soon for me to take back my praise. I think it's about time you told me what it is only I can do for you.
時すさびのバラ。
Criminy, really? I feel as though I've taken a blow to the chest. This is the first time I've ever heard of the Cardinal speak of the rose.
覚えていないとは言わせぬぞ。ルーシェン殿下に詰め寄るコンラッド殿下を退けたのはそなたが咲かせたバラだ。
Has he realized that I'm the goddess's reincarnation? I desperately attempt to maintain a facade of calm, even as my heart beats in my ears. I'm aware that the rumor has spread among a small number of people, but that was no more than a trick of the light. There was even an article published that looked into the event.
そんなもの王族にかかれば好きに操作できよう。我々の見立てはこうだ。
Pancakes are better than waffles.
そなたは国王の隠し子。直系王族ゆえにバラを咲かせることができた。その事実を隠しておきたい王は新聞社に偽りの記事を書かせたのだ。
Okay, sure, that explains like half of one of the points in contention right now.
なぜ王はそなたの出自を隠したいのか。おそらく母親の方に秘密がある。リンゼル公爵の前妻に手を出したか、あるいは前々から噂されているエベリーナ様の。
Hey, how convenient I just brought that up. I actually am totally blind here. That was a lucky coincidence. But I'm glad you all remember. Could you take your nonsense elsewhere? I won't be responsible for my actions if you continue. It would have been infinitely better had he suspected me of being the goddess's reincarnation. His deductions make me sick.
妄言だという証拠がどこにある。実際にそなたが時すさびのバラを咲かせたところを目撃した者はいるんだぞ。
So what? I have no intention of taking responsibility for an illusion others supposedly witnessed.
オフィスサビのバラがあれば、あれが錯覚だったかどうかを確かめることができる。
And if I had 10 tons of gold, I could buy my own private island if wishes were horses. Suppose so. If you're able to borrow the rose from the king, you're welcome to let me know.
ああ、そのつもりだよ。
Eh? The king would never lend out the rose. Not when he was so fearful of his secret being exposed that he destroyed an entire clan. But the cardinal smiles with complete confidence. Does he already have the rose in his possession? I doubt he'd be so indirect if he did. The rose isn't here, but the church has a way of obtaining it. Or maybe they're trying to steal it. Let's assume I was an illegitimate child. What does the church gain from revealing that truth? There's no point.
あるさ。そなたのことは調べがついている。幼い頃よりエベリーナ様に虐げられ続けてきたそうじゃないか。
And you've known this whole time and you've done nothing with that information. What, are you planning to use it to blackmail me into building an orphanage? Is that it? Hmm?
父親である王に見捨てられ、リンゼル家を追い出され、そなたを不幸にした原因は全て王族にある。我々はずっと待っていたのだ。我々と同じ心を分かち合える女神の末裔を。こうして言葉を交わしたおかげで改めて分かった。そなたは話の分かる人間だ。リンゼル家のお嬢さん、いや女神の血を受け継ぐ者よ。そなたが王座につきこの国を治めるのだ。荒れ始めたようだ。思ったより嵐は早くヒストリカを襲うのかもしれん。今日のところは教会に泊まっていきなさい。
That is the storm that is approaching. I've told Grand Commander Kreis that I'd be coming here today. He'll worry if I don't return.
では使いを出そう。なに、嵐が止むまでのことだ。
Okay, you're still the bad guy of this route, clearly. Suddenly, everything went black. Is this the way you treat someone you want to forge an understanding with?
すまぬな。裏若き乙女をこんな場所に閉じ込めるなど、私もしたくないのだよ。しかし、心配性な者たちがうるさくてな。こうでもしないと安心できないという。そなたの腕前について記した報告書が原因だろうな。
You know, my noted talent at murdering people. The reports detailing the assassination attempt, you mean? There must have been quite a lot to write about.
寝心地は悪いだろうが、食事は期待してくれ。ではな。
Nothing unexpected so far. Everything's going exactly according to
お前と取
Keikaku.
引を従っているのは間違いない。教会はお前に何を求めているんだろうな。
Friggin' detective blooded, or do I not deal enough of you? The office, God. I'd never be free of this place. You think they want to use me to satisfy their personal grudges against you?
女神の生まれ変わりだってことに気づいてる可能性もある。
それについては目の錯覚ってことでごまかし通したんじゃなかったのか。新聞社使ってよ。
権力志向の強い人間ほど大衆媒体には疑ってかかる。
俺もその線なんじゃないかと思ってる。何の情報もない彼らが女神の生まれ変わりという発想まで行き着くかはわからない。俺への支援にしろ、バラが関連しているにしろ、 お前を返す気はないだろうな。
Okay, we got that far. Now what's the plan? We do not get to know what the plan is. The church likely feels as though they have accomplished one of their goals by keeping me down here. This isn't the end, though, so they'll be moving on to whatever their next phase is. I'll be able to take advantage of things as they shift their plans. I've allowed myself to be captured so I can reveal what their plans really are. Getting captured was all part of my diabolical plan. Mwahahaha. My plan is great. My role ends here. His turn now. And still the people want to know, where is Superman? How long have I been down here? It's difficult to track the passage of time with neither a window nor a clock. I've received food 3 times, so it's been about a full day. Master Tyrell had given me a number of medicines in the off chance that the food they served me contained any drugs, but I've not yet needed to use them. I have also not seen any sign of the Rose of Tranquil Time. We are done for if they bring the rose here first. When do they intend to steal the rose? If the competency of their assassins is any indication, I struggle to think they have a way to circumvent the strict security. I was about to make a crack about the security not actually being all that strict, but the only time we actually tried to break it ourselves was when a literal witch had everyone killed, so I guess that's not really much of anything. Something isn't making sense here, like I've missed something. Gasp! Oh. Wow, what an eventful series of scenes. Yes, I'm fine. I'm alright. Don't nobody worry about me. Your outfit. His clothes are blacker than the night itself. I can tell from a glance it's designed for ease of movement, without a single needless extra thread or accessory. Because nothing stands out less than a famous person dressed in all black. I was under the impression that sneaking into places would be Master Tyrell's job. Oh boy, soup! Well, if you love soup so much, why don't you marry soup? Because I'm already married to Justice. Which makes sense, because only a blind chick would marry you. It is very stormy outside. So stormy that the lightning has been completely frozen in place. That seems like cause for concern. That's not natural. The faint sounds of thunder had ruled the skies of Historica for an entire day. The howling wind and pouring rain all but spoke of the world's end. Blump. Tadaima. Yes, I'm fine. Here's the medicine and the knife you lent me, Master Tyrell. These are the shitty bad guys. We're gonna deal with the real bad guys in another route. We've been over this already. Not really, no. Though it was the church that confined me, they seemed fearful of me because they believe I'm royalty.
はあ、これから反乱を起こそうってやつら、まだ王族にビビってんのか。根性ねえな。
Insurrection?
アナスタシア
I mean, yes, that is what they very directly told you, Anastasia. Keep up. Also, hi, Hugo. I didn't know you were part of the storyline. Oh, Hugo.
よかった、無事で。生きた心地がしなかったよ。
I told you before that they wouldn't hurt me. They wanted to make a deal with me, remember?
そっちじゃなくて、何かの拍子に切れたお前が枢機卿を殴り倒しでもして逮捕されるんじゃないかって思ってさ。
それはあり得る話だな。
I mean, it probably would have been a more satisfying ending, at least in the short term. Gee.
あ、目的は果たせたよ。クライオス団長。この証文は祭壇に隠されていました。モナハン枢機卿の直筆、教会の刻印が入った紛れもなく公式の文書です。
Oh boy, did we find out where the bodies are buried?
内容はヒストリカ国侵略への全面協力、その軍事行為の正当性を教会が保証し、ウォーレントが新たな宗主国となることを認める。
My god, they're going to set up a Zerainty? Most people don't even know how to spell that word. Yes.
教会はヒストリカをウォーレントに売った。
So that means we get to set all the cardinals on fire, right?
随分話がでかくなる。
前々からウォーレントがヒストリカの地を狙っているという噂はあった。彼らが教会と手を組めば、その野望が現実となる可能性は高まるな。
Oh, Wallens. Why are you the way that you are? Your name is so fun to say. Is the rift between the church and the royal family that deep?
歴代の王たちは宗主国であるヒストリカは他国より上位にあると考えていた。他国の死者を受け入れることはあれど、自分から何かを送ることはなかった。
So, in truth, we are the ones who have established a suzerainty. They merely plan to reverse who is the suzerainty and who is the suzerain. Diabolical.
それに対して教会は女神信仰を広めようと積極的に諸外国を訪問していた。そんな教会を王族は女神の意向を安売りしていると非難した。
Everybody knows you gotta be very gentle and delicate with her lights. Gotta put it in a little jar. Handle it delicately. Make sure you poke air holes in it and give it a little leaf to munch on.
他国からすれば威張り腐っている女神の末裔より遠路はるばる訪ねてくれる教会に親しみが湧くだろうな。
It's not about how evil you actually are, it's about how nice you can act to the people literally in front of you. That's politics. So the church has more influence than the royal family, then.
少なくとも教会はそう考えているだろう。
Of course, what does the church actually know?
こっから先はどうするんだ。
泣き虫王子の出番だ。一般市民の仕事はここまでだよ。
Alright, Lucian, I forgot he was a character in this game.
一番めんどくせえとこを押し付けることになったな。
この嵐じゃ白息のカーゴシップは運休だろう。嵐がやみ次第すぐに王城に向かおう。
So, all we have to do is keep ourselves alive and not lose this letter until we get to the ending. I'm sure nothing could possibly go wrong. Thank you for locating that proof, Hugo. I don't know why you were uniquely qualified to do so, but thank you.
まあ、あんな教会の中枢まで忍び込めるのは枢機卿の息子である俺くらいだよな。子供の頃から嫌ってほど連れて行かれ
I
てた
guess
から
that's one answer.
ちょっとした散歩気分だったよ。俺、家に戻ります。親父が妙な真似しないか監視しないと。
ヒューゴ、もし今回の一件が父君に知られてしまったら、その時は俺に命じられたと言うんだぞ。
Yeah, Cryas may be a shameless, ruthless, and often amoral manipulator, but he is not the sort of person who would let someone else get hurt for his scheming. I trust that much, at least.
お前には酷なことをやらせてしまった。何か俺にできることがあれば何でも。
どうしてそんなことを言うんですか。俺は生まれて初めて自分のことを誇らしく思えたんです。騎士として国を守った。違いますか。
Look at my face! Can't you see how serious and emotional I am right now?
ヒューゴ。
Yes, that's his name. Thank you for playing along.
俺ずっと今日みたいな日を待っていたんです。ガルダ翼騎士団の騎士としてじゃなくて。
Ooh, excuse me. Oh wow, he furrowed his eyebrows. That's how you know it's serious.
枢機卿の息子として罪を償いたかった。
お前に何の罪があるというんだ。俺も姉さんもお前が悪いなんて少しも思っちゃいない。
団長がそういうのは分かってた。でも俺
Ends up fathers.
あの件にお前は関係ないと。そう言ってやることがお前のためだと思っていたんだが、間違いだったのか。そうだよな。あの時一緒にいたんだよな。長い間突き放すようなことをして悪かった。ありがとう、ヒューゴ。
They tolerate each other. This is a good scene, actually. I like this. I'm glad we're allowed to let multiple people have emotional investment in things.
何も泣かなくてもいいだろう。
Fuck you, don't tell me how to live my life.
すみません。止まらなくて。
よく騎士団に入ってくれてありがとうな。お前のような部下を持てて俺は幸せ者だよ。
Sweet catharsis.
わざと泣かせに来てるな。
Yeah, probably. Huh?
お前、よくこの状況でちゃちゃ入れられるな。
真面目で気が利く。書類仕事を任せてもミスはないし、最近じゃ剣の腕も磨きがかかっている。
He's even bested the entire Royal Guard in one timeline. Hey.
あれには俺も鼻が高かったな。まだ伸びしろはあるからますますこれからが楽しみに。
もうやめてください。これ以上泣いたら目が溶ける。
Yeah, it's melting. He's melting. Oh, what a world, what a world. He's going to die. Hugo takes a few deep breaths to stop himself from crying, but there is no putting this lid back on now that it's been blown off. He puts on his best smile and relays his honest feelings to the Grand Commander.
俺の方こそ尊敬する人のもとで働けて幸せです。これからもよろしくお願いします。それじゃあ今度こそ失礼しますね。何か動きがあったら報告します。
Okay, you got over that very quickly once it was over. I was about to say some more about your tastefully understated but incredibly impactful character, but I guess we're done now. Okay, sure, fine.
外は嵐だ。気をつけて帰るんだぞ。
It is the storm that is
ここからそう遠くないので
approaching.
大丈夫です。
So don't hold up any metal rods and stuff. Okay, bye Hugo, I'm sorry you had to die like this. I decide to... See, I could easily envision either of these options screwing us over. Frankly, I'd like to know what happens if we follow Hugo.
どうした？
Why are we in the space between spaces? I thought I'd see you part of the way.
なんだそれ。まあいいや。お前に言っときたいことあったし。アナスタシア、お前が団長に口添えしてくれたんだってな。俺に協力してもらおうって。
Sure, that sounds like me. Yeah. I know it wasn't my place, but...
俺、さっきめちゃくちゃ号泣したけど、団長に協力してくれって頼まれた時の方がひどかった。
It was?
その場ではこらえたけどさ。団長と別れた後、頭痛くなるくらい泣いたよ。それだけ嬉しかったんだ。あの人の役に立
What
て
an
ることが。
absolute sweetheart this boy is. Unfortunately, he looks like a generic gacha game protagonist, so he cannot be a love interest, I'm sorry.
俺、子供の頃はすっごいわがままだったんだ。教会の上の連中はみんな妙な思い違いをしててさ。王族より自分たちの方が偉いんだって言うんだよ。枢機卿の息子の俺はもう王子様みたいな扱いで。ほんと、あの頃の自分を思い出すと恥ずかしくて死にたくなる。そんな時にシスターイザベラと団長に出会ったんだ。二人がいなかったら俺はもっとひどい人間になってたと思う。そのくらい
Sometimes
恩
all
義
a
に感じて
person
た。
needs is the one person who will listen to them.
でもシスターイザベラは亡くなって、その何年か後に団長が彼女の死の真相を追ってることを知ったんだ。俺、シスターのことはすごく好きだったから、俺も一緒に調べさせてくれって頭下げたよ。でもダメだった。分かってる。団長は俺のことを考えてそう言ってくれたんだって。頭ではちゃんと分かってたんだ。でも寂しいって気持ちはどうしても消せなくて。ダメだ。言いたいことがまとまらない。
That's okay, I barely even know when I feel what I feel. Now you gotta look up on me. You don't have to worry about that. I'm here for you as your fellow cadet. Isn't it weird to keep up appearances between friends?
お前にそれ言われるなんてな。ちょっと前までリンゼル家のご令嬢だってこと隠してたくせに。
Those are two separate issues.
俺、今すごくすっきりしてるよ。お前のおかげだ、アナスタシア。ありがとな。
We did it. There's one other thing about the church that has me curious. Cardinal Monaghan said he could get the Rose of Tranquil Time from the king. Realistically, though...
100% ねえな。
Yes, that is the problem, thank you. I thought so too. Though I assumed he was planning to steal the rose from the castle instead.
殺人未遂に反逆に窃盗か。とんだ犯罪集団だな。
What's the difference? Am I right, folks?
その全てはウォーレントへの売国につながっているわけだ。けど国宝を盗むというのは相当だぞ。さすがのティレルでも無理だよな。
What? What? I can't hear you over the...
広場での一件は国王に臆病風を吹かせたらしい。時すさびのバラは王子どもの警備より手厚く厳重に保管されている。侵入はまず無理だし、買収も通じないだろう。成功法じゃバラを盗み出すのは不可能だ。
So we need to start looking for abnormal means. Like... hot air balloons, and... incredible amounts of high explosive.
お前は侵入と買収を成功法だと思ってんのか？
Well, yeah.
死人を出さないだけ優しいもんだろ。
Better than killing. A shiver runs up my spine. You don't think the church would...
警備兵を皆殺しにしてでも時すさびのバラを手に入れる気なんだろうな。
But that would require a lot of people with pointy sticks. Where are they gonna get those on short notice? No.
モナハン枢機卿は他に何か言ってなかったか？
I've told Grand Commander Christ that I'd be coming here today. He'll worry if I don't return.
では使いを出そう。なーに、嵐が止むまでのことだ。
The storm that is approaching. The Cardinals are planning to use this storm as cover for their attack on the king.
あわよくば騒ぎに乗じて王族を始末できればいいとも考えているかもしれない。国王は無理でも王子たちならあるいは
Not the princes. I like at least one of those. There are no airships running to the castle now, right?
まあ、徒歩で向かうしかない。
Yeah, dress everybody up in metal armor and give them swords and have them walk in a thunderstorm. I'm sure nothing will go wrong. Clearly they need our help to avert this incredible attack.
それは無理だ。
Why not?
お前らが教会にいる間、城に続く道が崩れちまう。
Everyone knows there's no way they can walk without a road. How awful.
つか城までの経路がないんじゃ、あっちも動きようねえだろ。
Alright, secret passages. We've completely abandoned being a mystery game, so I can just feel that as a serious possibility now. That's true. Maybe I have it all wrong.
Yeah.
Don't you backtalk me, young man.
確かにヒストリカのカーゴシップは嵐の中では飛ぶことはできない。
How
ボール
convenient.
性なら可能かもしれない。
そもそもの話、教会の腰抜けどもに王城に忍び込むなんてできるわけね。だったら誰がやるのか。ウォーレントの人間しか考えられねえよな。ウォーレントには暗殺部隊が存在する。動くなら奴らだろうな。
I see they're following the Ace Attorney style of making the sequel all about international politics.
暗殺ってどの程度のやつだ。まさかお前みたいなのがうじゃうじゃいるとか言わないよ。
There are no men like me.
どうだろうな。実戦経験だけで言えば俺より上なのは間違いない。何せあっちは軍国、戦争を何度も経験しているんだ。100回訓練を積もうともたった一度の命のやり取りにはかなわねえ。
I heard they once started and finished 15 wars before breakfast. A group of assassins will assault the castle via a Valentian airship. And my boy is in there. The airships are grounded. The road is blocked. His life could be in danger at this very moment, but we can't make it there to help him. Oh, why? Why did I think it would be a good idea to give up my magic teleporting giant bird?
アナスタシア、何をそんな絶望的な顔をしてるんだ。まさか忘れたわけじゃないだろうな。俺たちには翼があるということ。
I guess we didn't give up the giant teleporting bird, just, you know, the interesting powers. Oh. Hey Huma, do you think you could single-handedly defeat the most powerful military on this planet?
ガールだって嵐の中でも飛べるの。
Still hold flight training even when it rains. I don't have any experience flying through storms, but the castle is close enough that it should be fine. I hope.
そこは言い切らねえのかよ。
お詫びに上等な肉を用意するさ。急ごう。もう猶予ない。
You and your shiny ass hair. Utterly ridiculous. Man, that is a shiny castle. The second the guards are in the air, the thunder ruling the skies goes silent. It's as though the storm has surrendered itself to the birds. We weren't at the Garda, but before this, did we just have Gardas on hand, or did we have to go all the way through the storm to get here? I worry about these things. I am used to thinking about people's alibis. An ominous shadow looms beyond the dark clouds. A Valentian airship. My god, we were right. It's like rain on Assassin Day. By the time we arrive at the castle, a number of men have already alighted from the airship. Once everyone has touched down on historical soil, the ship takes to the skies once more. The ship will likely descend again once they've successfully completed their mission. But for now, those left behind speak in calm, hushed tones. They all wear the same uniform and are of a similar muscular build. Every motion is calculated. Not a single movement is wasted. There are 20 in total. Half of them have already made it to the castle, while the 10 that remain look at us with piercing gazes.
ここは俺が引き受けよう。
You would destroy the entire royal family's security with 20 men? We would destroy the entire castle security with $1.
行くぞ、ゼン。
I'll take this guy, you go on ahead. My god, he said the thing! I place a hand on the hilt of my sword as a bloodlust incomparable to the previous assassins fills the air. The moment I pull out my weapon, the fight will begin.
聞こえなかったのか、アナスタシア。ここは俺に任せろと言っただろう。
But?
下がってろ。
位をつきやそろ。お前の名は我が国まで届いている。ヒストリカ一の騎士。
My god, he's so famous. He is so famous.
大国ウォーレントに評価いただいているとは光栄だ。
Seriously, bro, will you please speak up? Why is there not an independent character voice volume slider? God.
首を持ち帰れば報奨金の桁は変わるだろう。
I'm not hallucinating. That's not a thing, right? Everyone's maxed out already. Whack. Anyway, now violence is happening. Now their opponent is only a single knight, the assassins don't relent in their attacks. Amidst the flurry of daggers, a single blade just barely brushes against his chest. The feather! Those bastards!
なるほど。
God, he looks weird without it. It was a very stupid idea, but now that I'm so used to seeing it, he looks wrong without it.
何がなるほどだ。余裕ぶっていられるのも今だけだ。
Grand Commander's blade flashes like lightning. The Atlantean assassins gracefully fall back before pressing in once more, as if they were partners in a dance. I can feel the worry spreading through their ranks. They knew they were dealing with the kingdom's top knight, which is why they left so many behind. But I can also sense contempt. In the moments between movements, I can see their minds racing. Why is a knight who knows nothing of war so strong? But I'm used to the Grand Commander's swordplay, and I notice something is off. Each movement is like a dress with too many accessories. Too gaudy, too exaggerated. I very quickly figure out why that is. Even as he cuts down his enemies, he's showing off, giving me a display of his strength. That stupid bastard. You and your overly basket-hilted sword is so show-offy, but thin, but it's metal. That cannot be good for the weight balance. You won't lose. Won't die. Chipping away at my worries. One by one. And then he actually did get shanked because he was being a dummy. Good job, team. Yes. Yeah. I was a fool for doubting your strength for even a moment. Even so, don't you think we'd be stronger together?
少しでも遅れを取るようなら 蹴飛ばしてでも退場させるからな。
Yeah, this is how these bits are supposed to go. Such a charming bastard, you really got no romance in your soul. That won't happen. It was you that taught me the art of swordplay, after all. I was so scared of losing you. I didn't think I could handle the suffering, loneliness, or guilt. That's why I was so relieved when you said you'd put down your sword. That was one less reason I had to worry. I admired your strength, but I desired your weakness. I even wished to lock you up so no one could take you away from me, even though I knew how it felt to be robbed of freedom. I became weak, and I couldn't accept this part of myself. But now... going to kick ass and chew bubblegum. That's my name. Ah! That was easy. Yeah. When the last assassin finally falls, exhaustion and elation make my breathing ragged. My fingers tingle as strength seeps out of my body. But there's still something I have to tell him.
城に向かうのはこいつらを拘束してからだな。お前は少し休んで呼吸を整えろ。
Okay. You're free to keep working, but could you listen to what I have to say? Okay, good talk. I can no longer live in a world without you in it. Basking in your love has made me happy, but it's also made me weak. I was never particularly strong to begin with, but compared to that, I'm scared to lose you. So scared that I'd happily lock you away. But it was wrong to think that way. The witch may have disappeared, but that doesn't mean this world is perfectly safe. To live is to fight. I finally remembered that I have this present because I fought for it. So I'll continue to bravely fight for my future with you.
アナスタシア。間違いなく敵を縛りながら聞いていい話じゃなかったよな。
We're in the middle of an emergency, we don't have much of a choice.
もっと後でと言いたいところだが、お前、鉄は熱いうちに打てを地で行くタイプだもんな。
Reyes finishes tying up the men and stands up. He looks at me with a bright smile.
俺は急激に熱が上がらない分持続するタイプだから、この思いは後で伝えることにするよ。さあ、城へ急ごう。
I want to see how many of the material kicked in the balls during their fight. Yes, sir. We're able to apprehend the remaining assassins without difficulty. There are thankfully few injured, and both the royal family and the Rose of Tranquil Time remain safe. The assassins are immediately questioned, but none of them see the light of morning. They end their own lives with a poison hidden in the back of their teeth. Wow, what a jerk. As we couldn't find any identifying information either, we couldn't prove that they hailed from Wallens. It's not like we had multiple witnesses that there was a Wallentian airship dropping them off or anything.
これで良かったと言っている者もいます。ウォーレントを糾弾することは容易ですが、それで戦争となったら窮地に立たされるのは我々です。
Such is the nature of sabotage.
ヒストリカには騎士団はあっても軍隊はない。女神の宗主国を侵攻しようなんて国はこれまで存在しませんでしたから。
But maybe we should reconsider trusting in totally abstract philosophical ideals like that.
いずれにしても今我々にできるのはウォーレントを注視すること。そして教会には相応の罰を下します。もう二度とこのような過ちを起こさせないために。
I'm down with that. I'm down with punishing the church. That seems like a plan.
教会とウォーレントの性分は私が預かりましょう。あなた方の働きは決して無駄にはいたしません。
いやー、晴れましたね。
Hi, Mitch. You weren't really involved in this story. I bet that's gonna change later, though.
晴れたな。
Oh, hey, Landon, I'm still not over the bit where you stabbed me.
嵐が来たり、教会が謀反を企てたり、謎の集団が王女を襲ったり。枢機卿たちは全員逮捕され、国の窮地を救った翼騎士団は勲章をもらうことになって、予算問題は一気に解決して。
Everybody got that?
その全てにあなたたちが関わってるって本当なんですか？ヒューゴさん、アナスタシアさん。
Yes, I know. I was there at the time. I didn't bring about the storm.
俺が関わったのはほんのちょっとだよ。まさかあの後王城に乗り込むことになったなんて。あのまま残ってればよかった。
てか、ヒューゴにだけ声かけるってどういうことだよ。俺たちは頼りになんないってか、いじけるぞ。
Right, because you're a picture of efficiency and trustworthiness. Right, Landon? That is your real name.
そうだそうだ。なんで僕が狙ってた特徴をあなたが当てちゃうんですか？
俺もマヤさんと一緒に旅行したかった。
Someday they're going to force you to develop a second personality trait, Landon.
関係ない話が混ざってるぞ。
It's not that you aren't reliable, but we thought making your first real fight against a group of assassins with years of battle experience was a tough hurdle. And if you're fine with this, we'll call you should something happen again.
百戦錬磨の猫だったら大歓迎です。
Unfortunately, this isn't that sort of fantasy setting.
ほらほら、無駄口叩いてないで、さっさと買い出しを終わらせるぞ。
Excuse me, sir. We finished the shopping you requested of us.
ガルダたちへのご褒美肉、いいの選んできましたよ。いつものように、こいつが値切り頑張りました。
値切らなくてもいいくらい渡してたと思うんだけどな。
Yeah, but it's like a muscle. You gotta get that shit in order. You gotta give it regular exercise or it will stop working. Just because our budget has grown in size doesn't mean we shouldn't save where we can.
そんなだから、お前が公爵令嬢って気づかなかったんだよな。
What do you mean, like this?
ヒューゴ、その後どうだ？母君は大丈夫か？
ええ、母も罪を償って一生を終える方が売国土として生きながらえるよりいいと言っていました。
That's nice to know she's understanding. You have an admirable mother.
あの人は熱心なクロム教徒だから罪を憎む気持ちが強いんだよ。全てを知った時の形相と言ったら、俺は道を踏み外さないように気をつけないと。
The power of mom compels you. The power of mom compels you.
お前なら大丈夫だよ。
Probably, yeah.
ありがとうございます。それじゃあ俺は配膳を手伝ってきます。
As will I.
アナスタシア、少し話があるから残ってくれる
Yes, sir.
実は国王から報奨するから希望を言うように言われた。お前の意見を聞きたいんだ。
Have Zen and Master Tyrael said anything about it?
好きにしろとさ。俺たち4人に与えられるものだと言ったんだが。
They understood it was your route this time. I agree with them. I'll go along with whatever you decide, sir.
そうか。小教会の修繕を希望してもいいだろうか。
Of course. It's what he ought to do.
ありがとう。一時はどうなることかと思ったが、無事に終わってよかったよ。文句なしの大団円だ。
It's good ending. Yay. What kind of denouement is it?
ハッピーエンドって意味だよ。
I could get off the fourth wall.
今夜は二人で祝杯をあげないか。いい店を見つけたんだ。
I'd love that. I can't wait. I mean, you could. You're not gonna explode or anything. A happy ending. Is it really okay to assume everything is really over? There's still so much I haven't said.
「大切な人間が目の前で死ぬ」「敵から守りきれなかった命」「病でついえる命」「罪を犯して罰せられる命」いろんな終わりをあいつは見てきたが、中でも一番辛かったのは
So this. Thanks, Zen, you traitor.
自分の手で大切な人間の命を奪ったことだろう。それクライオス、お前だ。
そんなことだろうと思った。
トラウマになってんだろうな。お前らを殺したせいでティレルからは憎まれ、ルーシェンは自殺しまったんだから。そうなって当然だよな。
それでも最初のうちは元気だったんだよ。けどだんだん物思いにふけるようになって、だから少し休むように言ったんだ。もう聖騎士にこだわる理由はないし、もっと新しい何かを目指してもいい。ゆっくり自分のことを考えられるように時間を作ったんだ。
これは俺の世界の話だ。怪我を負い、戦地から戻った軍人。必死のリハビリの末、日常生活を送れるまで回復したが。
There's nothing like that in this world, obviously. Any soldier who gets injured is immediately shot like a dog.
リハビリを終えて残りの人生は自由そのもの。恩賞のおかげで働く必要もない。そうなった途端、悲惨な戦場がフラッシュバックするようになったらしい。原因は降って湧いた余暇だと。当面の目標が達成されて自由になる。そうなると人はいろんなことを考え始めるそうだ。
I mean, if you assume their goals are to get shot in the leg or shoulder or possibly a weird Schrodinger's injury thing where it goes back and forth because the author doesn't really care to keep track. But you know, other than that, yeah, that's exactly how it works.
これからのこと、自分のこ 戦地でのこと。次第に意識は戦場に引き戻されて、強い不安に苛まれ、悪夢を見るようになる。
だったら全部俺のせいじゃないか。
That is what you would think, isn't it?
こんなもん経験したことのあるやつにしか予想できねえだろ。誰かを責めなきゃ納得できねえってんなら俺にしとけ。俺がその可能性に気づいてやるべきだった。
嫌なことを言うな、お前は。
Yeah, all you need is a knife.
愚痴を吐かせてもらっていいか。
How do I get the feeling I'm not gonna be able to stop you?
おう、場合によっては本人にチクってやる。
やめてくれ。俺はあいつが全て忘れてくれればいいのにと思ったことがある。過去の俺なんか忘れて今の俺だけを見てくれればいいと何度も思った。
そりゃまあしょうがねえんじゃねえの。思っただけで口に出してねえなら。
If you had ever actually said it out loud, I would have been forced to kill you.
あいつはアナスタシアは全ての俺を大切に思ってくれている。それなら俺もここまで歩んできたあいつをそのまま愛してやらなくては釣り合いが取れない。
俺は逆だと思うけどな。
どういう意味だ。
そのまんまの意味だよ。あいつが何を見て何に傷つき何を失って生きてきたのか全部知りたいんだろう。その気持ちはわからなくねえが。
I mean, I get it. It's nice to worry about the people you worry about. That's generally considered polite.
お前らはこれからを生きるんだろ。過去ばっか見てどうすんだよ。
And that's easy for you to say, considering you are literally never going to die. That.
クライオス、お前まで死に戻りの闇に引きずり込まれてどうする？
Why are you being the way that you are? Get out, God. Fuck, we were doing so well too.
そっから引っ張り上げることがお前の役目だろうが。
That was yet another wonderful restaurant. You have a real skill at picking these places out, Cryos. This is a very normal thing to tell a person. You're going to get a good grade at picking restaurants.
気に入ってくれてよかったよ。また行こうな。
Of course. This is for you.
どうした？俺の誕生日はまだ先だぞ。
We just saved the entire cane and take the goddamn gift. I assumed you also wouldn't allow me to pay for my portion of the meal, so I prepared something else instead. They're coffee beans. I hope you like them. And he just pulls a small handful of loose coffee beans out of her pocket and hands them over.
ありがたく受け取るよ。じゃあ食後の一杯は俺の家で付き合ってくれるか。まだ話足りないし。
I'd love to. Also, something I need to speak with you about.
うまい。好みの味だよ。
Yes, this coffee is quite pleasant to the senses. it possesses a distinct flavor. Anyway. Really? Ah, thank goodness. So, about what I wanted to discuss.
アナスタシア、今夜は泊まっていくよな。着替えを出してくるよ。
Huh? Oh. Oh. No. Oh. Thank you for letting me take a bath first. So, I'd like to...
湯上がり、いい香りがするな。
Still creepy.
でも、まだ水が滴ってる。
I shuffles a towel over my hair to dry it. Take a talk.
もう髪は伸ばさないのか。
No, I've got a unique look. It's mine and I like it. So does everyone who's ever played this game. Oh, hello. Well, no, since there's no real need to.
そうか。これでよし。ボサボサで可愛いな。さて、俺もシャワー浴びてくるよ。眠かったら先にベッドに入ってていいから。
Right. I do. Well, today would be the day to finally talk things over, but I can't find an opening. Every time I try to bring it up, the topic changes. I can't keep my mind straight. Is he doing this on purpose? I mean, knowing Croyas. Literally everything this man does, he does on purpose.
まだ寝てなかったのか。
I can't enter the bedroom when the head of the house is absent. We also haven't finished our
一
discussion.
人じゃベッドに行けないって。とんだ甘えん坊だな、お前は。
Not what I meant. Don't want to hear what I have to say, then be honest about it.
そんなことはない。お前のことなら何だって知りたいし、聞きたいよ。でもそれは、お前が話したいと思っていることに限る。
What?
話したいことなら聞く。でも、話さなければならないと思い詰めているなら、それは言わなくてもいいことだ。
Tobias wraps an arm around my shoulders and leads me towards the sofa.
恋人だからといって何もかもを打ち明ける必要はない。もちろん分かち合うことで救われたり幸せになれることもあるだろうが、無理をしたら全て台無しだ。ただずっと頑張ってきてくれたお前をねぎらいたくて死に戻りの時のことを尋ねたが、この前話してくれただけで十分だよ。俺の言いたいこと伝わった？
Honestly, probably not. I nod slightly, but I just can't seem to fully accept this as a resolution. I only talked about what was convenient for me to mention. I was a coward.
どんな風に都合がいいんだ？
Oh, you know, didn't involve confessing to any major felonies. Didn't want you to hate me.
俺は何を聞いてもお前を軽蔑することはないが、言い換えると、俺がお前をもっと好きになれる話を中心に聞かせてくれたということだろ。俺にも都合がいいな。
You told me about everything from your illness to your sister.
だか
But
ら、
I...
あの時言ったじゃないか。俺が包み隠さず話したからといって、自分までそうしなきゃいけないとは思わないようにと。
Yes, There are those that say they don't understand Cryas. Sometimes I consider myself one of them. He says such constant words of comfort that I can't help but feel ill at ease. There is no need to feel anxious. His kindness carries no ulterior motives. I'm allowed to give in to the comfort he provides.
そもそもの話、俺だってお前に見せていない部分がまだたくさんあるよ。
Like the extreme sexual masochism. There are?
見たいか?
The kindness in his eyes shifts to show the strength of his will. His gaze captures my attention, and I only return to my senses once I've answered in the affirmative. Christ lifts me in his arms and carries me towards the bedroom. Oh my god, I think they're gonna do it. The first kiss is on my cheek, then he kisses my ear, and my neck, his lips trailing ever lower. This is not ticklish. It's something else. Something different. And I desperately try to keep myself quiet. Unfortunately for us, it turns out the thing he's hiding is that the bits he's marking are the bits he's going to take off once he reveals his true identity as a serial killer. Dun dun dun.
先に確認しておこうかな。今から自分が何をされようとしてるのか。
Oh my god, they're totally gonna like touch bots and stuff. Happen to me? I turn over all the shelves in my mind as I dig through all my previous experiences. In the end, I find a shred of paper with the answer scrawled upon it. I am. When I was Conrad's fiancé, I was given a thorough education as future queen. The lady-in-waiting taught me what I'd need to know. Why am I being so painfully straightforward in my answer? Painful is right, but a little thought for my role here, why don't ya? I was taught, but only once. And I never had any practical experience. I never even kissed Conrad. I'm still a pure and innocent waifu. Please don't cancel me, Japanese internet. I mean it. Please, believe me. He sees the lighter side of everything. Cryas bursts into laughter. Since I've been expecting his anger instead, his laughter inspires a sea of question marks.
俺が覆しようのない過去の色事を許せない強量な男だと。
For a second there, I thought pretty man, and I was like, yeah, no, that's definitely what's in front of me.
お前が理解しているというのは、たまらなく興奮する。
Eh? He quickly places his hands on either side of my head and leans closer. His body weight isn't placed against me, but he locks my legs in place, robbing me of free movement. The sudden lack of movement makes me stiffen in fear. He notices this immediately and looks at me with worry.
見下ろされるのは怖いか。だったら。
Yes, to the great surprise of nobody, Cryas' big secret he hasn't told anybody yet is that he's actually really horny. Who could possibly have thunked it?
いつでも逃げられるぞ。
So considering we saw a slice of the CG earlier, does that mean he flipped us over onto our fronts so that he could flip us onto our backs so he could flip us onto our fronts again? Are we just alligator death rolling across the bed at this point? I'm not going to run anymore.
そうか。今にも飛び出したそうな顔してるが。
I don't want things to get awkward between us again.
ならないよ。本当に逃がしたくないと思った時は、たとえ泣かれようが叫ばれようがやめないから。逃げられるうちは安心して逃げていい。
I don't think that's actually a healthy thing you should be saying to your love interest. And what about that sentiment is supposed to make me feel safe exactly? Yes, thank you. Annie, you're okay sometimes. Yes. Hair. Do you prefer longer hair? You seemed curious about mine earlier.
ああいや、そういうことじゃないんだ。お前が初めてガルダ翼騎士団に来たとき、最初に対応したのは俺だったの。
Yes, I know. I was there at the time. Only vaguely.
あの時俺は、その長く美しい赤髪に似合うのは、剣でも弓でもない、ドレスだと言って入団を断った。そしたら次の日お前は、髪をバッサリ切って現れた。
I'm surprised you remember.
衝撃だったからな。というか、結構長いこと落ち込んだ。
You have a very strange set of priorities, my good sir. You were? Why?
俺のせいで髪を切らせてしまったから。
Okay, that doesn't answer the actual question I have. Long hair just gets in the way, so I probably would have cut it anyway. You don't have to worry about that. He's far more sensitive than I ever thought he'd be. He's a big, sad, pathetic blob of a man.
あの時のことを思い出すと、まだ胸が痛む。
It's really nothing so serious. You really don't need to worry. To think you get this upset about it. Is there anything I can do to help him? Let's do something else for a little while. How about a drink? I can prepare you a glass.
いや、今はいいよ。でもそうだな。こんな気分じゃ眠れないよ
It most definitely would be. So actually, let's do something you enjoy. Like me.
俺の好きなことって？
The Garudas, of course. We can have a passionate discussion about the finer points of large birds.
それは今度な。
Later?
次は？
How about a spa? Exercise is one of the best ways to refresh yourself.
明日やろう。
Cooking, reading.
一緒に料理はいつかやってみたいな。お前に勧めたい本もある。次の休みは二人で本屋に行こうか。俺の好きなこと、まだ伝わってないのか。あんなに。
I think I know what he means. He wants me to understand it without saying it outright. My god. In the end, this is still what this entire route revolves around. God, I love people are weird.
そう、それ。まだ足りないよ。もっとだ、アナスタシア。
I give in to his plea and bring our lips together. Kiss is so suffocating that if I try to pull away, but when I do, he only holds me that much tighter. This endless kiss tells me that in this moment, he doesn't want to let me escape. Tell me if I'm wrong, but... did you lead me to this conclusion? Do I have any free will whatsoever? None of us have free will, Anastasia.
今まで一切疑念を抱くことなく俺を全肯定し続けてきたお前が俺の意図に気づける日が来るとは人は成長するものだな。
Wow, character development. I was genuinely worried about you. I refuse to fall for your tricks any longer.
落ち込んだのは嘘じゃないよ。罪悪感でなかなかお前を直視できなかったくらいだ。
What about now?
一瞬も目が離せない。
God, you have large hands. I mean, I can relate, don't get me wrong. If you hate something, then say it. Don't force yourself. I feel like everything he's told me until now has all been for tonight. But I don't think I'll be able to keep that promise. And I want to fill in whatever void remains in him so that he never has to feel lonely ever again. And I want to give him as much love as he's given me, so he knows how he's saved me. I want to give him everything he desires. And before that impulse, words mean very little. Did we do it? Is that... okay, no, it's, somehow this route is still going. By the time I wake up, the sun hangs high in the sky. I am surprisingly up earlier than Cryas is. But it's less that I awoke from restful sleep and more that I'm so hungry I can't bear to lie down any longer. Maybe I'll make us breakfast today. But what can I even make? I don't know how to cook. What do you take me for? I abandon all hope of surprising him with a perfect breakfast from the very start. Try as I might, I know it won't go well. There's jam and butter. I can make some toast and maybe cut some vegetables. As I line my ingredients up on the counter, Cryas hugs me from behind. I didn't even sense his presence. Whoa, good morning. No answer. He pushes his face against my shoulder and roots himself to the spot. Is something wrong?
起きたらいないから。
I was hoping to borrow your kitchen and make breakfast. I can only make the simplest of meals, though. I'll let you know when I'm finished, so you can go back to sleep.
寂しいからくっついてでもいいか。
And in the end, he truly is a sad, pathetic man. Am I finally seeing it? Is he still half asleep? Cryas is finally freed from the clutches of sleep and breakfast is ready. When I mention what happened, a panicked blush creeps up his face.
いつかはバレると思ってはいたが。はあ、恥ずかしくて死にそうだ。
People are so strange. They're drawn to strength and kindness at first, but it's weakness and foolishness like this that deepens their love for one another. That's Writing Romance 101. Everyone taking notes, this will be on the test. Rise is far more sensitive than I expected, his heart full of scars. Though he often smiles with kindness, there are times when that same expression hides his sadness.
今日は一日休みだが、どうしようか。どこか行きたいところはあるか？
Rise's hands aimlessly caress my neck. When I squirm against the sensation, his smile deepens and he more carefully begins to drag his fingers across my skin. Can't resist the impulse any longer, so I throw my arms around him. I want to stay here today. Me. God, that man has shiny teeth. His shiny teeth and him. He'll make sure all of my wishes come true. He will also always get his way. I'm always dancing in the palm of his hand, trapped in a rapturous birdcage. I understand my predicament, but I could never hope to escape it. You know, when you put it this way, it doesn't actually sound all that romantic. Can I go back and try again? I'm eternally locked within, the key nowhere in sight. Like, trying to escape from literally being confined and locked in a place is literally the whole, like, initial conflict of this game. This is not the note you want to go out on.
愛してるよ、アナスタシア。
No, seriously, are we not going to talk about this? That seems like maybe an important thing. Like on a thematic level that we should be acknowledging. No, don't you end it on that note. You were doing so well. You were doing so well. You made me actually, like, believe they had romantic chemistry when you didn't do that in the base game at all. Managed to make Monaghan an actual character. You got Makoto Furukawa in this game. Friggin' Noriaki Sugiyama. Shinsuke Takeuchi, I don't actually remember anything he's been in, but he's probably a big deal. Friggin' Kaito Ishikawa. Don't leave me here. God. Don't think I have the energy to keep ranting like this the entire game. Oh, they turned the website definition around. That was cute, alright. Aww. They're doing a highlight reel of the game we just played. That's so sweet. Now I gotta talk over it though, so Cryas. Improves definitely from the base game. Ayane Ushio, that is the lady's name. She's working on another VN that I'm pretty sure is coming out soon, or may have already come out. I would advise you to check it out regardless of whether or not I get around to it. She did it good. What was I saying earlier? Cryas. I did not believe there was basically any romantic chemistry in their base roots. But they resolved that here at least, so I guess they did the biggest deal. They also pretty much completely followed up on the issue of them getting, you know, the plot point with his sister introduced, then completely unresolved. So, broadly speaking, this was in fact a good. They also credited the translation team. It's not common in this industry, and it should be, so good for you. I will say I thought the pacing was a bit janky. Very long amount of time passed from the first time we got assassinated to the first time anybody expressed any interest in resolving that plot thread. And I am still not sure if I necessarily believe in the idea of, you know, protecting yourself from retribution by hiring the shitty assassins instead of the cool assassins. Back in the 90s, this is what all music videos were like. Oh, they're singing about shooting stars, let's put shooting stars on it. Wow, you're so creative. Why did they hire assassins to kill us in the first place if they needed us alive as their puppet queen? What was the thought process there? Like, I want to believe there was actual intentionality there, because, this game is significantly smarter than I am used to, but I have no idea what, in fact, it was. Hello, Corey. Hello, Raiders. My name is Mitsuda Midoi. We literally just finished the game. So this is a bit awkward. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mitsuda Midoi. I am a forensic scientist from the world of mysteries, a parallel dimension, where every work of fiction released in our own universe that you and I are from is in fact a true story. How's the game? It was pretty good. I think it was worth the price of admission. The fact that the ending cinematic credit sequence goes exactly long enough for all of that to have gone down is mayhaps not a good sign regarding how well put together it was, but you know what? I've never made a video game. That seems like the sort of thing you would forget about. Anyway, my sincerest apologies for surprising me like this, but for all you raiders, for one, thank you for stopping by for the second or so it took us all to meet each other. Maybe we'll see each other again sometime. And since we've got some people here, y'all can raid Ben Soulstone instead. He's a significantly more social human being than myself. You'll probably enjoy him more anyway. Alright, I will be continuing to dedicate my efforts to getting through the judging for the mystery competition I am in, so I will not be streaming this weekend. I still don't really have a stable signing off catchphrase. So I hope all y'all take care of yourselves. Until the next time we see each other, try not to piss off anyone to the point where they murder you, because I don't want to have to deal with that. And I will see at least some of you in the future. Goodbye.